live. Shalom, 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 Yasharallah. Peace, Israel. Shalom.
Shalom, 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 Israel.
Shema, Yasharallah, Yahawah, AHLAHAYANAWA, Yahawah Echad. Shema, Yasharallah, Yahawah, AHLAHAYANAWA, Yahawah Echad. Shema, Yasharallah, Yahawah, AHLAHAYANAWA, Yahawah Echad. Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi, Bahashem QADASH, HALALYAMLA, AHLAHAYANAWA, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, Bahashem QADASH. Double honors to the elders of the Apostle Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the overlects scattered abroad. And shalom to you, sincere Akim and Aqua that are tuning into the lesson. Hey, shalom to you. So this is going to be a quick lesson that was on my spirit earlier. It's literally going in the title. It was saying, you know, the mission, right? The mission, the complete update about CERN. And I wanted to literally go in depth with this. We didn't go in depth too much on the highways and byways today. And I wanted to literally get it from how they literally have prepared this this Hadron Collider, and literally fucking, started to upgrade it as they started to achieve their accomplishments. So I wanted to get it from here. So this thing, right? This basically says this was when they first actually started it in June 5th, right? This past year. And they even tell you it was a flawless start. The Large Hadron Collider at CERN Research Center today. The highest energy proton on proton collision at 13.6, trillion electrovolts. Now, at that rate of speed, right? You having these, protons on protons collide all at once at an immense amount of speed that you're actually ripping open a different veil of existence that I'm pretty sure that these people know about, and the fact that they tried it 3 years prior to this. Before they even did this one, they tried it 3 years prior, and they only got it up to, I think, half of that, if I'm not mistaken, half. So like 6.5 trillion electrovolts or something like that. And they were only able to push that for only 3 hours until the actual machine actually malfunctioned and decayed. So that's why it was CERN was actually like I guess it wasn't up and running for like 3 years. And now, June 5th came, right? This thing that I posted on here, June 5th came, and they actually were pushing just for 6 hours to open that collider. But instead, they actually exceeded that and went and pushed this 13.6 trillion electrovolts for 12 hours. And it exceeded their accomplishments, and they were able to shut the machine down without no problems. Like they were easily able to start it back up. So as the evolutionary track of this fucking of this collider, right, as it starts to grow throughout the time, and honestly, we can say between June 5th to now, it has literally been upgraded exponentially. This part right here is literally something that has literally been sent into space. It's literally a different form of a satellite that reads, certain particles in space that they cannot get down here, that they're harnessing the energy up there, sending it to the CERN lab to make to recreate it down here, right? So this says Some of CERN's unique testing facilities are able to reproduce extreme radiation space environments. Among them, the CHARM facility can test satellites at low cost, which is ideal for new space projects. And then it even says right here, launched just last week, the Celestia microsatellite was tested entirely at CHARM, with the final destination being right in the middle of the Van Allen belt. So literally, this thing's in space now. Their CERN satellite is in space now, and they're literally trying to harbor or manipulate some sort of proton or particles out there that they're trying to manipulate down here and recreate down here, so they can harness it. And this is what all within a span of, give or take, for 3 or 4 months, right? 3 or 4 months. Now, with that being said, they upgraded again, and boom, it says, I'm gonna read the part that's most important. It says their I can't really say it. Their peculiarity is their interaction strength with normal matter depends on the location matter destiny or density slacking. This makes solar chameleons suitable candidates to form the particle components of dark matter. So this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to harness and recreate dark matter on the Earth, so that they can actually do this and recreate more collisions at a higher rate of speed, and they've accomplished it. See this that picture on there? That is literally one of the newest upgrades that they have done this past month, if I'm not mistaken. The past month they recreated this, and now it's like they're harnessing dark energy, right? It all starts from, they exceeded their 3-hour, their 3-hour collisions, to now they pushed it to 12 hours. From 12 hours, now they pushed it to I think a low this is like an order. They pushed it to, from 12, it went from 12 to 15.5. And then after the 15.5 mark, right, where they updated this, that beam controller thing, now you see this, this is a post today on CERN where it says proton physics, stable beams, right? It says beam, LEC beam beats another record this week. It says beats another fucking record, meaning they're constantly upgrading this damn machine. And it says this week, the longest fill of the LHC update has lasted 57.4 hours now. So it went from 3 to 12, 15.5, now 57.4 hours that they are able to collide these particles at a constant rate of speed, and also harnessing that dark energy that they want. But since it can only go for so long, they have to shut the machine down, and it has to be shut down for like 3 or 4 days before they can fire it back up. But that within that 3 or 4 day span, they upgrade the damn machine exponentially again, literally. And it says at the bottom of it, it says, curious about the experiments behind the run of the LHC, stay tuned for this week. So this week, they're literally going to constantly keep upgrading this thing until this machine is able to run 24/7 without it malfunctioning. But what they don't understand is this machine also is going to be crack opening that damn fourth dimension, where they're actually going to start witnessing these beings is come from the other realm. And it's just like that movie, that show Stranger Things, how they they had that machine, it broke down, they rebuilt it, upgraded it, and then once they turned it back on, they were able to open that veil of another dimension. And the fact that this also just came out too recently, where they were saying that they're able to speak to other entities now, that they're able to do that literally through the damn collider. And I'm gonna show you the video so you don't think I'm fucking crazy.
This collider and these beings that they're in communication with. So we're talking about the premier scientists on planet Earth right now who are actively engaged, according to their own words, communicating with something with a personality, in their own words, from another dimension, and that's the purpose of the collider. I mean, people need to understand this is not science fiction. This is fact.
That's correct. What I write about in my novels,
right?
I place a storyline that is embedded with science fact. Everything that I present publicly in the books, public speaking, is all drawn from their own scientific journals and white papers. And then I'm able to see what they're doing. Not just extrapolate, but see in the real time what it is they're doing. Not a future agenda, but what they're doing right now today. The imminency of what they intend to do, which is opening this gateway. And understand that the world of science in terms of particle physics also overlaps into DNA, into biology.
Yes.
There's a multifaceted, multi-level agenda at play, not just with CERN, but it's proof of concept feeder labs around the world that feed into CERN. So we are talking about changing humans, changing the planet. We're talking about not only bringing in information through a portal, but we're also talking about definitively changing our way of life. This is a threat to our existence, to the creation of mankind.
A threat to our existence, a threat to the creation of mankind. So they're communicating with some kind of entity. You and I would believe that these entities are fallen angels.
Right.
So when I get to it, you know, but yeah, you heard there, man, they speaking to other damn entities and shit from another realm, and they even said it themselves, from another dimension, and it has a personality. Meaning this thing is coherent and it's able to talk to them. It's able to speak to them coherently without, you know, without trying to like, oh, I'm an alien, I don't know English. Like, it has a personality, it has a consciousness, it's able to speak to you. It knows. So, you know, I'm gonna get the scriptures to go in depth with it, right? But this is what these wicked motherfuckers are doing, man. They're literally, you know, cracking open this damn machine, this collider, just to tap into something on the left-hand side that's literally ultimately going to destroy them, honestly. But, you know, they don't care about that shit. They say it's all in the name of science that they're trying to do this shit for us to have a better living. But at the end of the day, you know, that's entirely not true, because when that actual portal is actually open, and those entities are flying here, and they can't manually do like an override shut off. The machine's running 24/7. Them damn entities are literally just gonna reap hell on their ass. They're probably just gonna be killed, bro. Honestly. We're gonna let the scripture speak for itself. About to get the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. Bear with me. Okay, come. So this is the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Right? So thinking about it, right? If this place isn't, you know, being ran by the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, you know, the wicked, the picture you see right there, right then, who's running this place? Who's running this place? Who's on the dollar bill? Right? A so-called white man, right? So at the end of the day, honestly, when they opened up this CERN's facility again, right? When they opened it up, they didn't open it up as like a grand, you know, reopening. You know, they cut the little rope and everything's fine. No, how they opened it was fucking ridiculous, man. They did a wicked dance. They had fucking people wearing goat masks and shit like that, and you know, just dancing like weird and shit. Like they were like dancing on each other. People were like, they had like their shirts off and shit, you know, just doing some weird shit, right? But at the end of the day, you know, they playing a part. I mean, I'll also get this other scripture real quick too. This is the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1. And it reads, Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds, When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hands. And that's right, because literally in that other scripture, what does it say? It says, you know, in the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24, where it says, you know, that the earth was given into the hands of the wicked, right? So it's true. Esau Edom literally, he literally lives, breathes, eats, sleep fucking wickedness, man. He can't live without it. And that's all he basically does. Like, you know, in this for example, for CERN, right? That whole facility ain't nothing, you know, righteous about it. They're literally trying to open up and trying to tap in to another realm. And honestly, if you read reports in the old on the old interviews that they had, I think this in the beginning of this year, that they were saying that they're trying to tap in and see, you know, the particle that creates the universe itself, and to see how they can undo it. But at the end of the day, it's like, what the fuck you trying to undo that shit for? What do you need to undo the universe for? So it's because literally they have a God complex.
Them also trying to they even said it too in the interview, they trying to replace what they call it Jehovah.
Yeah, the Jehovah.
So they're trying to replace Yahawah and Yahawashi.
And literally, you gotta understand too, that's why they had that monument in the front. It's literally like a woman that's dancing, and she has a bunch of snakes around her, and that's the so-called deity that is supposed to replace the Jehovah, which we know is, you know, YAHAWASHI. But you know how these motherfuckers are, man. They're wicked as fuck. But I'm gonna get the book of First Peter, chapter 5 and verse 8. Bear with me. Okay, yeah. So I was bringing the scripture out because literally at the end of the day, you know, a lot of people don't take heed to this. You know, they're not really like people of the world, right? They don't really care about, you know, what CERN's doing. They don't care about the intricacies of, you know, what's really going behind, you know, like CERN's doors, right? But this the scripture, right? It says, 1 Peter 5 and 8, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. So literally, if you're not vigilant, if you're not sober in this thing, you know, you're literally gonna be caught off guard. Literally, like literally all these people of this world, right? When that CERN collider actually opens up that veil from the other realm, and it actually opens it up 24/7, where they can't shut it down no more. We've been pushing out these videos. Then what's gonna happen? Then you're gonna be bugged the fuck out. Then you're gonna be like, oh shit, well, you know, they weren't lying. You know, they were telling the truth. I knew I should have took heed. But, you know, at that point, you know, you should have took heed. You know, you're through now. What are you gonna do? You're gonna try to find, you know, one of the servants and prophets of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI? No, because at that point, but by the time all that shit actually starts happening, YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI has already pulled the prophets and the servants and prophets of YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI already back. Ain't nobody on the highways and byways prophesying on it by that time that's happening. You know, and this is just me speaking as a man. You know, I'm not saying that this is what's gonna happen. You know, I want to think, you know, that's is gonna happen that same exact way that I'm saying it. But, you know, just, you know, speaking as a man, you know, I truly believe it can happen like that.
Like the scripture you brought out in First Peter, which is be sober, be vigilant. Right? You want to be sober as in, like, you know, spiritually too. You want to be drunk off of different philosophies, different doctrines, because these other philosophies, doctrines are not preparing you for the time you're coming into. There's only one true doctrine that will keep you spiritually sober, that's going to prepare you for the time you're coming into. That's this doctrine, the very doctrine that our apostles and elders will be meant to teach. And you want to be vigilant, which also goes into circumspect, right? Like it mentioned in the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, I think, verse 15 to 16. It said, be wise and walk circumspectly, paraphrasing. Circumspectly goes into alert, watch. Like you say, you gotta be watching, you gotta be alert.
Yeah, because a lot of people are not taking heed to it. They don't care. You would talk to somebody about CERN. What the hell is that? Oh, you don't know about the CERN collider, the Hadron Collider? Oh no, I've never heard about that. Oh, hey, look, see, that's how you know they lost. I'm gonna grab 2 Timothy 3 and 1. Bear with me. Oh damn, I had the bookmark on. I didn't even freaking realize. Yeah. Because this is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3, and verse 1. This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. All right, I'm gonna read that again. This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. Dangerous, literally. Literally, as soon as they cut that damn CERN collider on, man, with all them damn freaking upgrades that they've done for it, all the damn research that they're getting, now they're getting more readings from space about dark matter. Now you just gotta truly believe, like, if they're trying to harness dark matter from space and they're trying to bring it down here and recreate it down here and collide those particles that make dark matter into that freaking collider and collide them at at an immense rate of speed, that's literally going to allow that that portal to be open. That is going to open. It's going to rip that veil from the fourth dimension open into the third dimension. And the fourth dimensional beings on that side, they not gonna fucking be governed by third dimensional means. Clearly, they're gonna come here and they're gonna do what they fucking that they're made to do. Honestly, they're just a bunch of demons that are freaking willing to fucking wreak vengeance upon these fucking idiots that are fucking opening this damn collider open. And honestly, we can get into that too as well. I'm about to get the Wisdom of Solomon about strange apparitions.
You want to have Demicrons, I think it's called, strange things.
God.
You want to see real demons, real monsters coming out.
Yeah.
Through that doorway. But think about it, all the movies that's related to such things, these mad scientists create such machines to open a portal, nothing good comes out of it.
Yeah, never. But they always say it's for the good. It's for the greater good. It's all for the, it's all for the science and shit. To make our lives better, to have our daily fucking routines, fucking just all that bullshit that them damn scientists be pushing. It's just a bunch of bullshit, right? And we're gonna get the Book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17. Verses 3 through 6, and then jumping down to verses 14 through 16. Verse 3, for while they supposed to lie hid in their secret sins, they were scattered under a dark veil of forgetfulness, being horribly astonished and troubled with strange apparitions. Literally, strange apparitions. And literally, if you see that, if you've seen that show, Stranger Things, there's a whole what is it called, the upside down world?
Upside down world. Yeah.
There's a whole world that literally has a bunch of damn strange apparitions in there. They're monstrous apparitions. Yes, it's all up in there, and they actually come into this fucking world. They actually come into this world, and they're actually a lot different than people believe them to be. There's this one skinny ass thing that has a mouth on its face. And it's strong as hell. It's strong. That thing's like, 7 foot tall, strong as fuck, and it looks skinny as shit. Strong as fuck.
Strange apparitions going into phantom spirits, ghosts, shadow man, stuff like that.
Yeah, shadow figures, all that shit. Going down to verse 4. For neither might the corner neither might the corner that held them keep them from fear, but noises as of water falling down sounded about them, and sad visions appeared unto them with heavy countenances. So literally, these people back then, they were so scared that literally the sound of water literally like triggered them to have fear. Oh, shit.
Like there's no running, there's no hiding. You're always going to be in a state of fear. All right? You're going to be so afraid that just hearing the sound of like water running, water dropping, it's going to put fear in you. You won't be afraid.
And literally, it says, neither for the corner that held them, right? So you're going to be against the wall, right? You're going to be against the wall thinking that you're safe in that corner, but at the end of the day, it says not even the corner of that wall where you felt safe at It's not going to even like, you know, allow you to not feel like, it's not going to allow you to feel safe at all. It's still going to make you feel scared. It's still going to be fearful.
There ain't gonna be no what they used to like crazy ass people who call it a safe zone.
Oh, safe.
No, my safe space.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Ain't going to be none of that shit.
Ain't gonna be no safe space.
And here's why, shit, because it says, verse 5, no power of fire might give them light. And what happens when, you know, when all the lights are out? People get scared, right? They freak out. They go for the lights real quick, right? Go for a flashlight, or they go for their cell phone. You know, tap the little light flashlight button on the cell phone, right? And it says, neither could the bright flames of the stars endure to lighten the horrible night, or that horrible night. Like, so literally, you're not gonna have any type of light out here. The light from your phone, that shit ain't gonna work. And you know, Lord willing, because of the damn blackout, or the EMP, yeah, that causes that damn blackout. Literally, this is talking about a whole other type of darkness. Like, literally, you can't see fire. You're not gonna be able to use the damn lighter. You're not gonna see the little sparks that come from it. You know, you go, you ain't gonna be able to see none of that shit. Flashlights, you know, fire lights in general. You're not gonna even be able to see the stars at nighttime. That's how dark it's gonna be out here. And if I'm not mistaken, there's another scripture where Exodus, bro, that's a darkness that may be felt.
Yeah, the book of Exodus, chapter 10, I think verse 23. Right somewhere, that darkness that may be felt. That's what you're going into right now. Solomon was talking about that. He's going more in depth about that darkness that may be felt. And that's what we read right now.
Yeah, it's gonna get bad. So especially when they activate that thing. Going down to verse 6. Only there appeared unto them a fire kindled of itself, very dreadful. For being much terrified, they thought the things which they saw to be worse than the sight they saw not.
So much more terrifying than the things that they just think in their head. So,
that's deep. That's heavy. The things that they saw were scarier than the things that they were freaking thinking about. So they were probably already thinking about some scary ass shit. Like literally, they're probably already thinking like, damn, you know, like this is kind of creepy in my head. But then seeing it in real life is something different. Seeing it in real life, that just puts a whole another meaning of fucking fear on somebody. Because literally, just from the sight of something, you know, you can literally, you know, be put into shock instantly. You'll be literally, you can what is it called? You can endure paralysis because of that fear. You'll be paralyzed. You're so scared that you don't want to move. And you literally have no control of your body now because that's how fearful you are. Literally, your face turns into paleness, not due to malnutrition, but the amount of fear you have on you. It's so fearful. You're fucking beyond feared. You're petrified, right? Now jumping down to verses 14 through 16, right? And I'm also get this in another version, but it says, verse 14, but they sleep in the same sleep that night, which was indeed intolerable, right? In this little part of the scripture, it says, where they could do nothing. So literally, that night was so intolerable, they could do nothing. They couldn't do anything. And it says, and which came upon them out of the bottoms of inevitable hell, were partly vexed with monstrous apparitions, and partly fainted, their hearts failing them. For a sudden fear, not looked for, came upon them. So then, whosoever there fell down was straitly kept, shut up in a prison without iron bars. All right, let me get the G&T version real quick for that. Starting from 14 down to 16. It says, all night long, those people slept the same restless sleep, even though the night held no power over them. Right, so I went into that, right? The word held. It means to keep or detain, imprison someone, or shut up or confine. So that night, right, it's basically saying that night it wasn't like normal nights, but it was to the point where nighttime is literally just dark, and everybody's used to the dark, right? And there was a couple of examples that I didn't write down, but I try to memorize it to the best of my ability. But that's what it was saying, that darkness is just regular darkness, and it's normal when you turn off your lights. you know, you got dark, you can't really see, you know, you kind of just, you know, move your bed closer to the light switch and then push the light switch off, and then, you know, it's dark as hell. You know, it's kind of, that's what they were trying to say. It's basically like a normal thing. So it held no sway over them. But then it says, okay, held no power over them, since it came from the powerless depths of the world of the dead, right? The grave or hell or Sheol in the Hebrew, right? Which they're talking about, what was that? The spirit or the dead that was coming up, or the strange apparitions that were actually coming up from the graves. It's probably both. It's one of those, you know, if I'm saying it correctly. Verse 15, they were chased by hideous forms, by, okay, and lay paralyzed. See, and that's what I was saying too. You know, you're going to cast paralysis to the point where you're going to lay paralyzed. And it says, as they surrendered themselves to the sudden, unexpected fear that came over them. Right. And I went into surrender. Right. So this is you got to take this into consideration. This is all the stuff that's going to happen. It says surrender, cease resistance to an enemy or opponent, and submit to their authority. To give in, submit, give oneself up. So literally, they were in so much fear that they had given themselves up over to that fearful sight that they literally they couldn't fight no more. They couldn't fight the, you know, that fear that they saw, that it paralyzed the hell out of them, right? And listen to the next verse, which actually goes in deeper. Says, people would suddenly collapse and lie locked in the chains of their own fear. So when they got paralyzed, right, and not literally paralyzed, you know, like they can't walk anymore. This is more of like a, you know, an unconscious paralyzed or paralyzation. So when they got unconscious, right, they got knocked out or they blacked out and they gave themselves up, right, which, you know, surrenders means to give yourself up. They literally, it says they were locked in a spiritual prison in their mind with no bars. Because once you're unconscious, right, from whatever you just witnessed, you know, you go unconscious because it's something that is literally that's petrifying to you. And the fact that, you know, these people who dealt with that, they're also going to deal with that in this time too, but on a greater scale, to the point where their unconscious mind, that apparition or whatever monstrous apparition that was chasing them or that they saw, that made them go, you know, have that paralyzation in their mind. Literally, they're going to literally see that in their mind as well. So while they're laying down in an unconscious state, right, they're also going to be trapped with that apparition in their mind. And literally, you know how it says in the KJV version where it says they were shut out in a prison without iron bars. Yeah, because you can easily get lost in your mind. You can be trapped in there, especially when someone is when they what is, you know how these doctors, they be putting people in like a medically induced coma. They can put people, you know, you literally, that's apparently what you're really doing. You're putting yourself in a coma because you're petrified with so much fear that, you know, you literally get stuck with whatever you saw. Literally, like I was saying, you know, whatever strange apparition, monstrous apparition had frightened you to the point where you had literally, you couldn't fight no more. The fear, you were just like, oh shit, and you got so scared, you got paralyzed, you know, and you became unconscious. Literally, that's where you got trapped at now. Because of that, whatever monstrous apparition or strange apparition that caught your ass, now that's what you're going to be thinking about, constantly running away from in your mind. Now imagine, your mind is a very tricky thing. You don't ever want to get stuck in your mind, because your mind plays tricks on you. It may, you know, appear to that you're in the real world again, you know, but you're still in your dream state. You're still in an unconscious state, you know. So it's a very fucking dangerous thing, a scary thing, honestly, to be trapped in your mind. Because literally, these strange apparitions, they have no bound. You know, they're not bound to anything, so they can easily do whatever the fuck they want to you, especially in your you know, subconscious state while you're sleeping. Oh yeah, it's free game for them. But you know,
when you went to that word monsters,
yeah,
right? You know, like terms would be ugly, terrifying, hideous.
Yep, that's what it says here. It says hideous.
Malform.
Malform.
Malform. So you know you're gonna be seeing apparition monsters that just look so so deformed, like it, like like one arm bigger than the other. You got like you got a head, but like one side of his face is bigger than the other. You got probably like 2 mouths, 8 legs, 4 arms. You got a miniature version of him attached to his back. A twin, yeah, like he like pretty much being like abnormally like shaped differently. And you got mutation. Right? Yeah.
Literally, that word mutation. That's literally going into something that's either going through a metamorphosis or some sort of mutation, where they're mutating or transmuting into something else. Transforming basically. Their form that they could have been human at first, and then it starts to look like they're like the brother was saying. More legs start to grow. More hands, more arms. Instead of having freaking a mouth on their freaking head, now they got a mouth in the center of their body. They start to transmute themselves. So that's a mutation right there itself.
Scripture does say how it's going to be a time like never before. Yeah,
time like never before, man.
Nothing is impossible with Yahweh.
Hey, so literally, I didn't want to make the lesson too long, but literally, this is something I wanted to definitely get in depth with, the order of how this was going with CERN. They're definitely going to continuously upgrade the machine. I'm going to definitely keep tabs on them, keep watch. Scripture say, you got to be a watchman. So, we're constantly watching, to see what's new.
Watch, right?
So yeah, I'm gonna definitely keep tabs on that. We'll definitely be on the lookout, for any more CERN updates. And Lord willing, you'll see them on either see them on a sit down lesson or honestly on the highway and Bible. That's mainly what we try to push for. Highways and byways. Lord willing, we do one tomorrow. Lord willing, the lesson was edifying. We're gonna close out by giving must do all praises, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI BAHASHAM QADASH. Double honors to the others and apostles of the great millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect scattered abroad. To your sincere Aki Manakwa. Shalom to you. On to the next one. Shalom.